Africa. The very name evokes a continent of boundless horizons, where the sun rises over ancient baobabs and acacias, casting long shadows across a land both timeless and ever-changing. Here, the landscape is a living tapestry. Each blade of grass, every wildflower, and the shifting colors of the sky contribute to a breathtaking spectacle of life. But beneath this beauty, the savanna is a crucible of survival, where every moment is charged with tension and the struggle for existence is relentless. The air vibrates with anticipation, as predators and prey engage in a silent contest of wits. Each movement, each glance, a calculation in the high-stakes game of life and death. The rhythm of the savanna is dictated by the seasons. Torrential rains breathe life into the land, coaxing green shoots from the earth, only to be followed by searing droughts that parch the soil and shrink rivers to mere trickles. Every creature, from the smallest beetle to the towering elephant, plays a role in this intricate web, each life entwined with countless others in a delicate balance. Adaptation is the currency of survival. The leopard ascends into the trees for safety and vantage, while wildebeest brave crocodile-infested rivers in their endless quest for greener pastures. As dawn breaks, the savanna stirs to life. Herds graze cautiously, ever alert, while solitary hunters melt into the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. A single rustle in the grass can mean the difference between life and death, a lioness poised to pounce or a mongoose evading unseen danger. The calls of birds echo across the plains, sometimes a warning, sometimes a signal of opportunity, as the entire ecosystem listens and responds in a symphony of survival. The ground trembles beneath the massed hooves of migrating herds, their movements orchestrated by the search for water and fresh grazing, their journey fraught with peril at every turn. Every animal lives on a knife edge, senses sharpened by the ever-present threat of predation, where a single misstep can spell disaster. Each sunrise brings hope and opportunity, but also casts long shadows, reminders that danger is never far away. The savanna's stage is filled with iconic players: lions, elephants, cheetahs and giraffes, each with their own strategies, alliances and rivalries. These animals are the living symbols of Africa, their presence woven into the very fabric of the land, their survival a testament to the power of adaptation. Some rely on speed and agility, others on strength and teamwork, each species carving out its own niche in the complex hierarchy of the wild. Power is often displayed in dramatic confrontations, roaring lions charging buffalo, and the clash of horns as rivals vie for supremacy. Stealth and patience are equally vital as predators melt into the landscape, waiting for the perfect moment to unleash their attack. Many find safety in numbers, forming intricate social structures, herds, flocks and prides, where cooperation and vigilance are the keys to survival. Others walk a solitary path, relying on their own instincts and resourcefulness to navigate the dangers of the wild. Every encounter, every hunt, every narrow escape is a chapter in the ongoing saga of the savanna, a story written in dust, blood, and the indomitable will to survive. The land itself is a formidable force, shaping the destinies of all who dwell here, its rivers, mountains, and grasslands dictating the rules of engagement. Dense thickets offer sanctuary and concealment for ambush predators, while the open plains demand speed and stamina from both hunter and hunted. The open expanses become arenas for breathtaking chases, where only the swiftest survive and the slow fall to the relentless pursuit of predators. Rivers are both lifelines and gauntlets, offering precious water but also concealing hidden dangers beneath their surface, where the unwary may meet a swift end. From the snow-capped peaks of Kilimanjaro to the labyrinthine channels of the Okavango, each ecosystem presents its own challenges, demanding unique strategies from its inhabitants. To endure here is to read the land's subtle signs, the faint imprint of a hoof, the scent of rain on the wind, the distant rumble of thunder promising relief or disaster. This is a world of raw, untamed nature, where the only certainty is the unending contest for survival, and every dawn brings a new act in the greatest drama on Earth. Across the endless grasslands of Africa, a select group of animals reign supreme, creatures whose presence shapes the very fabric of the savanna. These are the Big Five: the lion, the leopard, the elephant, the rhinoceros, and the Cape buffalo. Each is a living testament to the power, resilience, and intricate balance of the wild. These animals are not merely icons, they are the architects of their ecosystems, each playing a vital role in the survival of countless other species. Their adaptations are the result of millennia of evolution, honed by the relentless challenges of the African wilderness. At the heart of this council stands the lion, the undisputed monarch of the savanna. The lion's dominance is not simply a matter of strength, but of social complexity. Prides are intricate societies, often composed of related females, their offspring, and a coalition of males. Within these groups, every member has a role. Lionesses form the core, their bonds forged through years of cooperation and shared motherhood. The mane of the male lion is more than a symbol of majesty. It is a shield in battle, a signal of health and vigor, and a badge of status. Rival males challenge each other in displays of raw power, their roars echoing for miles, a warning and a declaration of territory. Lionesses, the true strategists of the pride, coordinate with remarkable precision. Their hunts are masterclasses in teamwork, flanking, ambushing, and driving prey into carefully laid traps. Each lioness knows her place in the formation, and their success depends on silent communication and mutual trust. The pride's territory is fiercely defended, not only from rival lions, but from formidable adversaries like the Cape buffalo. These massive herbivores, with their impenetrable wall of horns, test the courage and coordination of even the most experienced pride. A single misstep can mean injury or death, and the balance of power is constantly shifting. In contrast, the leopard is a solitary phantom, its spotted coat blending seamlessly with the dappled light of the bush. It moves with silent grace, relying on stealth and cunning rather than brute force. Each kill is hoisted high into the trees, safe from scavengers and rivals. The African elephant, largest of all land animals, is a gentle giant and a keystone species. Herds are led by wise matriarchs, whose memories guide their families across vast distances in search of water and food. Their trunks, marvels of dexterity, are used for everything from uprooting trees to caressing a newborn calf. The rhinoceros, armored in prehistoric hide, is a creature of paradox, immensely powerful, yet acutely vulnerable. Mothers guard their calves with unwavering vigilance, their survival threatened not by predators, but by the relentless pursuit of poachers. The Cape buffalo, often underestimated, is a master of defense. Its immense horns and unpredictable temperament make it a formidable opponent. When threatened, the herd forms a living fortress, each individual ready to defend the group with unyielding resolve. Every adaptation, from the lion's claws to the elephant's ears, is a masterpiece of evolution. The rhino's acute sense of smell compensates for its poor eyesight, while the buffalo's horns are both weapon and shield. To witness these animals in their element is to observe the raw mechanics of survival. A lioness leading her pride in a coordinated hunt, a leopard vanishing into the shadows with its prize, an elephant matriarch guiding her herd through drought and danger. Each moment is a testament to the intelligence and adaptability of these remarkable creatures. The savanna is a stage where every day brings new challenges: drought, predators, competition for resources. The Big Five endure, not through brute force alone, but through intelligence, cooperation, and the subtle art of survival. Together they form the living heart of Africa, a council of survivors whose stories are written in the dust and grass of the wild. In the vast, sun-drenched expanse of Kruger National Park, a single male lion, known as Shadow, presides over a territory that stretches beyond the horizon. His domain is a mosaic of golden grasslands, acacia thickets, and winding riverbeds, each corner echoing with the silent tension of survival. At 8 years old, Shadow is the embodiment of prime lionhood. His mane, dark and full, is not merely ornamental, it is a badge of maturity, a visual warning to rivals and a magnet for lionesses. Every scar on his muzzle tells a story of battles fought and won, of nights spent defending his lineage. Shadow's life is a tapestry woven from moments of power and vulnerability. As king, he is both sentinel and sovereign, his presence a constant reassurance to his pride, a family unit composed of his mate Carly and their 4 cubs, as well as several related lionesses. His primary duty is protection. He patrols the boundaries of his territory, marking trees and rocks with scent and roaring into the dawn and dusk to broadcast his dominance. Each patrol is a silent war of attrition, a contest of endurance against intruding males and the ever-present threat of hyenas. The mere sight of Shadow, muscles rippling beneath his tawny coat, eyes fixed and unblinking, can send a pack of hyenas scattering. Yet the threat is never far. Rival coalitions test his resolve, and the balance of power can shift in a single, violent encounter. His roar, a thunderous bellow that rolls across the Savanna for miles, is both a warning and a proclamation. It is a living boundary, a sound that keeps his pride safe and his enemies at bay, while also uniting his family in the darkness. The rhythm of a lion's day is dictated by the sun. During the searing heat, the pride seeks refuge in the shade, their bodies sprawled in loose clusters beneath the sparse cover of acacia trees. Here they doze, conserving energy for the trials that night will bring. Lions are masters of rest, spending up to 20 hours a day in a state of languid repose. This is not laziness, but a finely tuned adaptation to the African climate, where temperatures soar and water is scarce. Every heartbeat saved is a resource banked for the hunt. As dusk falls, the pride stirs, yawns ripple through the group, muscles stretch and golden eyes sharpen in the fading light. The cool air signals the beginning of their most active hours, when the Savanna's nocturnal drama unfolds. Social bonds are the glue of pride life. Through nuzzling, grooming, and playful wrestling, lions reinforce their connections. These rituals are more than affection. They are the foundation of trust and cooperation, essential for survival in a world of shifting alliances. Grooming is a language of touch and scent. By rubbing heads and cleaning each other's fur, lions exchange chemical cues, creating a unique group scent that marks each member as kin. This olfactory signature is a passport in the darkness, distinguishing friend from foe. In the hush of twilight, the pride huddles close, their bodies pressed together for warmth and reassurance. Each breath, each subtle movement, is a thread in the fabric of their communal identity. The lionesses are the pride's strategists and providers. Their days are spent scanning the horizon, reading the movements of herds, and planning the next hunt. Each female is a specialist, her skills honed by years of experience and the wisdom passed down from older generations. When the hunt begins, the lionesses move with silent precision. They fan out, using the tall grass and undulating terrain as cover, communicating with subtle glances and tail flicks. Their teamwork is a ballet of instinct and intent, each lioness knowing her role in the unfolding ambush. Success is never guaranteed. Even with perfect coordination, only a third of hunts end in a kill. Prey animals are swift and vigilant, and a single misstep can mean a night without food. The stakes are high, and hunger is a constant shadow. The lionesses exploit every advantage the land offers. They slink through gullies, melt into thickets, and use the cover of darkness to close the distance. Their patience is legendary. They may stalk for hours before launching a lightning-fast attack. When the moment comes, the pride strikes as one. Together they can bring down prey many times their size: zebra, wildebeest, even young buffalo. The kill is swift and brutal, a testament to the power of cooperation. After the hunt, hierarchy is enforced. Shadow, as the dominant male, feeds first, his presence at the carcass a reminder of his authority. The lionesses and cubs wait their turn, but it is his strength that keeps the pride safe from scavengers and rivals. For the cubs, every day is a lesson in survival. Under the watchful eyes of their mothers, they learn to stalk, pounce, and read the subtle cues of pride life. Play is their classroom, and every tumble in the grass is preparation for the challenges ahead, yet the odds are stacked against them. Drought, disease, and hunger claim many before their first year. Only the strongest and luckiest survive, their resilience forged in the crucible of the wild. Predators lurk at every turn. Hyenas, leopards, and even large birds of prey pose a constant threat. The lionesses defend their young with ferocity, but vigilance is a never-ending task. The greatest danger, however, comes from within the species. When a coalition of new males challenges shadow, the fate of the cubs hangs in the balance. If the invaders succeed, they will kill the young to bring the females into estrus, ensuring their own genetic legacy. Shadow's reign is a fragile shield, his vigilance the only barrier between his offspring and oblivion. Every patrol, every roar, is a battle against time and fate. As the sun sets over the Savanna, Shadow stands watch, his silhouette framed by the dying light. For now his dynasty endures, each day a victory, each night a testament to the relentless beautiful struggle that is the life of a lion. In the tangled riverine woodlands of the Sabi Sand Game Reserve, a different kind of predator emerges from the shadows, one who walks alone, silent and unseen. Here a solitary lioness carves out her existence, relying not on the strength of a pride, but on her own cunning and resilience. Unlike her pride-bound kin, she is a master of patience and precision, her every movement calculated to minimize sound and maximize surprise. The solitary lioness becomes a shadow at dusk, her tawny coat merging seamlessly with the fading light, her body pressed low to the earth as she stalks. She weaves through acacia thickets and skirts termite mounds, using every contour of the land to conceal her approach. Hours may pass as she waits, motionless, her senses tuned to the faintest rustle or shift in the wind, a living sculpture of patience. She studies her quarry from afar, reading the subtle cues of a grazing herd, anticipating the moment when one animal strays just a little too far from safety. With each silent advance, she closes the gap, belly crawling through the grass, her muscles coiled and ready to explode into action. When the time is right, she erupts from cover in a burst of speed, her powerful limbs propelling her forward in a deadly pursuit. The chase is a test of both endurance and agility, as she weaves through brush and leaps over obstacles, closing in on her chosen target. Success is never guaranteed. A single misstep, a shift in the wind, or a startled alarm call can send her quarry fleeing, leaving her with nothing but the pounding of her own heart. Each failed attempt drains precious energy, and the solitary hunter must weigh every risk, knowing that injury or exhaustion could mean the end. When she does succeed, she wastes no time dragging her prize into dense cover to feed in secrecy, ever wary of opportunistic scavengers drawn by the scent of blood. The risks do not end with the kill. Hyenas and vultures are quick to appear, their presence a constant threat to her hard-won meal. She must defend her catch with ferocity, sometimes facing overwhelming odds as scavengers close in, drawn by hunger and numbers. When outnumbered, she retreats into the shadows, conserving her strength for the next opportunity, her survival dependent on knowing when to fight and when to yield. The solitary lioness is a creature of adaptation, her life a delicate balance between hunger and caution, stealth and strength. Yet her world is changing. The woodlands she depends on are shrinking. fragmented by the encroachment of human activity and the relentless expansion of the savanna. She marks her territory with determination, but the boundaries grow ever tighter, the competition fiercer with each passing season. In the end, the solitary hunter's reign is a testament to resilience, a fleeting, hard-fought triumph in a world where every day is a battle for survival. Across the immense and varied landscapes of Africa, two of the continent's most formidable giants traverse the wild: African bush elephants and black rhinoceroses. Their presence is unmistakable, shaping the very character of the savanna and woodlands they inhabit. Though neither is a predator, their immense size and strength command respect from all, including Africa's apex carnivores. Even the lion, king of these plains, approaches with caution, aware that a miscalculation could prove fatal. The African elephant, the largest terrestrial animal on Earth, is a marvel of evolution. Its sheer bulk and intelligence make it nearly invulnerable to predation, except in rare circumstances when a pride of lions may target a vulnerable calf or a weakened adult. Elephant herds are led by a matriarch, whose wisdom and memory guide her family through the shifting seasons. She is acutely aware of the dangers posed by predators, and her vigilance is the first line of defense for the youngest members of the herd. During migrations, elephants carve ancient paths through the wilderness, opening up access to water and food for countless other species. Their movements can displace lions and other predators, temporarily altering the balance of power in the ecosystem. Consuming up to 300 pounds of vegetation daily, elephants are ecosystem engineers. As they feed, they break branches, fell trees, and create clearings, which in turn provide new habitats and resources for a multitude of smaller animals. Their bodies are masterpieces of adaptation, with thick, wrinkled skin that bears the marks of a lifetime. Sometimes even the scars of lion attacks survived in youth. The trunk, a fusion of nose and upper lip, is a tool of astonishing dexterity and power. In moments of danger, it becomes a weapon, capable of flinging dust, branches, or even deterring a pride of lions from a vulnerable calf. With the ability to hold over 2 gallons of water, the trunk is essential for drinking and bathing. At waterholes, elephants often assert dominance, forcing even lions to wait their turn. Their vast ears, laced with blood vessels, act as natural cooling systems, radiating heat away from their massive bodies, a vital adaptation for survival under the relentless African sun. Elephants communicate through deep rumbles and infrasound, messages that travel for miles. Even lions with their acute senses can detect these vibrations, often choosing to avoid direct confrontation. By clearing brush and forging trails, elephants create corridors that benefit countless species, from antelope to zebra, and even provide hunting routes for lions. Sharing these ancient lands is the black rhinoceros, a solitary and elusive titan. Unlike elephants, rhinos are less social, and their encounters with lions are rare but dramatic. The black rhino's prehensile upper lip is perfectly adapted for browsing shrubs and trees. It marks its territory with scent, warning both rivals and predators to keep their distance. Despite its formidable armor and horns, the rhino's poor eyesight makes it vulnerable to surprise. However, its acute hearing and sense of smell, combined with unpredictable aggression, usually deter even the boldest lions. Rhinos often host oxpeckers, birds that feed on parasites and serve as sentinels. Their alarm calls alert the rhino to approaching danger, including stealthy lions seeking an opportunity. Yet the gravest threat to these giants is not from lions, but from humans. Poaching for ivory and horn has decimated populations, leaving both species in a precarious balance. Each year, thousands of elephants fall to the illegal ivory trade, while rhinos are targeted for their horns, prized in black markets far from Africa's plains. The black rhino, already critically endangered, faces an uphill battle for survival. Its slow reproduction and solitary nature make recovery painfully slow, even as threats intensify. Both elephants and rhinos invest heavily in their young. Calves are fiercely protected, and any predator, even a lion, risks injury or death if it dares to challenge the herd or a defensive mother. Conservationists employ every tool at their disposal: armed patrols, GPS tracking, and even dehorning to safeguard these animals. The battle is relentless, fought day and night across vast, unforgiving terrain. The fate of Africa's gentle giants hangs in the balance. Their survival will depend not only on their own resilience, but on our determination to preserve the wild places where lions, elephants, and rhinos continue their ancient dance, a testament to the enduring power and fragility of life on the savanna. Beyond the celebrated Big Five, the African savanna is a living chessboard where predators of remarkable intelligence and social complexity vie for survival. Here the drama of life and death is not only played out in the hunt, but in the intricate relationships and rivalries that shape the fate of entire species. The spotted hyena, so often miscast as a skulking scavenger, is in truth a formidable and highly intelligent hunter. Their reputation belies a reality where cunning, endurance, and raw power converge. In many regions, up to 95% of a hyena's diet comes from their own kills. They are not mere opportunists, but apex predators in their own right, capable of bringing down prey as large as wildebeest through relentless pursuit and teamwork. Built for endurance, hyenas can maintain speeds of 37 miles per hour over astonishing distances. Their stamina allows them to outlast and exhaust their quarry, often succeeding where other predators falter. Their jaws, the most powerful of any terrestrial mammal, can shatter the largest bones, extracting every last calorie from a kill. Nothing is wasted, even the marrow is consumed, a testament to their efficiency. Hyenas live in sprawling clans, sometimes numbering up to 80 individuals. These are not chaotic mobs, but highly organized societies, each member playing a distinct role in the clan's survival. At the heart of every clan is a matriarchal hierarchy. Dominant females, larger and more assertive than the males, lead with authority, their status inherited by their daughters. This structure ensures stability and order, but also fuels fierce competition within the ranks. Communication is the glue that binds the clan. Through a symphony of whoops, giggles, and growls, hyenas share information about food, danger, and social standing. The iconic laugh is far more than a sound of amusement. It is a complex code signaling excitement, submission, or distress. Each vocalization carries subtle cues about the caller's age, rank, and emotional state, allowing the clan to function as a unified whole. This sophisticated communication is vital when facing rivals. In the perpetual contest with lions, hyenas rely on numbers and coordination to defend kills or challenge for territory. These encounters are tense, calculated, and often brutal, with each side probing for weakness. Far from being mere scavengers, hyenas are master tacticians. They plan hunts, set ambushes, and adapt their strategies to outwit both prey and competitors. Yet even the hyena's prowess is rivaled by the African wild dog, a predator whose efficiency and cooperation are legendary. With their striking painted coats and oversized ears, wild dogs are instantly recognizable. But it is their social structure, built on trust, discipline, and unity, that sets them apart. Fewer than 7,000 wild dogs remain in the wild, their numbers dwindling under pressure from habitat loss and competition. Every pack is a fragile dynasty, its survival dependent on the strength of its bonds. Wild dogs hunt at the edges of day, dawn and dusk, when the savanna is cool and shadows are long. Their high-pitched chirps and twittering calls keep the pack connected as they move with fluid precision, each member attuned to the other's slightest cues. Every hunt is a display of choreography. Each dog knows its role, flankers, chasers, blockers, working in perfect harmony to outmaneuver and exhaust their prey. Their success rate is unmatched, a testament to the power of collective action. Unlike lions, wild dogs do not rely on stealth or brute force. Their strategy is one of relentless pursuit, using stamina and teamwork to wear down even the swiftest antelope over miles of open ground. The social fabric of a wild dog pack is woven with threads of empathy and cooperation. Every member, from the alpha pair to the youngest pup, is cared for and protected. After a successful hunt, adults regurgitate food for pups and for those unable to join the chase, old, injured, or guardians at the den. This selfless behavior ensures the survival of the entire pack, not just the fittest. But the wild dog's world is fraught with danger. Lions and hyenas, both larger and more powerful, are relentless adversaries. Encounters are tense and often deadly, with wild dogs forced to rely on vigilance, speed, and unity to survive. The relationships between these predators are shaped by rivalry and necessity. Hyenas and wild dogs may clash over territory or carcasses, but both are united by the need to outwit the dominant lions, whose presence casts a long shadow over the savanna. In this unforgiving landscape, survival is not a solitary endeavor. It is the power of the group, the intelligence of the collective, and the ability to adapt and cooperate that determine who thrives and who falls. Here, every day is a battle, and only those who master the art of unity endure. The African savanna is a living tapestry, woven not just from the stories of lions and elephants, but from the countless lives of its lesser-known inhabitants. Every species, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, contributes to the balance and resilience of this ecosystem. Antelope species such as impala, gazelle, and hartebeest form the backbone of the savanna's prey base. Their acute senses and lightning-fast reflexes make them challenging quarry for predators, shaping the hunting strategies of lions and other carnivores. The annual migrations of wildebeest and zebra are among the most spectacular events in nature, driving the pulse of the plains. These vast herds not only sustain lions, hyenas, and crocodiles, but also fertilize the land, their hooves aerating the soil, and their droppings nourishing new plant growth. Zebras with their striking stripes blend into the shimmering heat haze, confusing predators during a chase. Wildebeest, meanwhile, rely on their numbers and unpredictable movements to evade danger. Eland and oryx, more solitary, depend on stealth and endurance, often venturing into areas avoided by lions. Mixed herds amplify their chances of survival. Zebras' sharp vision and wildebeest's acute hearing create a network of vigilance, while impalas, ever watchful, sound the alarm with explosive leaps and snorts, alerting all within earshot, including lions, who must adapt their approach accordingly. Beyond the great cats, a host of specialized hunters prowl the grasslands. Cheetahs, built for speed, target smaller, isolated prey, while servals use their oversized ears to detect the faintest rustle of rodents. Hyenas, both feared and misunderstood, scavenge and hunt, often clashing with lions over kills. Giraffes, the sentinels of the savanna, browse on treetops, shaping the landscape by pruning acacias and dispersing seeds. Their towering height grants them a vantage point to spot distant threats, and their presence can alert other animals, including lions, of approaching danger. The giraffe's elongated neck is both a marvel and a liability. While it allows access to untouched foliage, it also makes drinking a perilous act, and males use their necks as weapons in dramatic battles for dominance. To survive these challenges, giraffes have evolved a powerful heart and intricate blood pressure controls, preventing fainting when lowering their heads. Yet every trip to water is fraught with risk, as lions and crocodiles lie in wait for a moment of vulnerability. The act of drinking becomes a high-stakes gamble, with giraffes forced to splay their legs and lower their guard. Lions, ever opportunistic, may exploit this moment, though a well-placed kick from a giraffe can be fatal even to a lion. Waterholes are gathering points for a multitude of species, kudu, warthog, and antelope, each balancing the need to drink with the ever-present threat of ambush. These moments of congregation are both a lifeline and a danger, shaping the daily rhythms of life. The rivers themselves are bustling corridors of life. Fish, amphibians, and reptiles thrive beneath the surface, while terrapins and monitor lizards patrol the banks, each playing a role in the aquatic food web. Hippopotamuses, massive and unpredictable, dominate these waterways, Their bulk and aggression deter most predators, but calves remain vulnerable to crocodiles and, on rare occasions, to lions desperate for food. Hippos are fiercely territorial, their yawning jaws a warning to rivals and intruders alike. Their presence shapes the behavior of all who share the river, from crocodiles to antelopes seeking a drink. At dusk, hippos emerge from the water, forging trails through the grass as they graze. These paths become highways for smaller animals, subtly altering the landscape and the movement patterns of the savanna's inhabitants. Nile crocodiles, ancient and patient, are masters of ambush. Their powerful jaws and stealthy approach make them a constant threat at the water's edge, not only to antelope and zebras, but occasionally to young lions venturing too close. With a bite force among the strongest in the animal kingdom, crocodiles can subdue prey many times their size. Their presence forces all animals, even lions, to approach water with caution and respect. Scavengers are the unsung heroes of the savanna. Vultures, marabou storks, and jackals converge on carcasses, stripping them clean and recycling nutrients back into the ecosystem. Vultures, with their corrosive stomach acids, can safely consume decaying flesh that would be lethal to other animals. Lappet-faced vultures, the largest of their kind, often dominate the feast, tearing through tough hides and opening carcasses for smaller birds. Jackals and other small carnivores seize opportunities at the margins, darting in for scraps while avoiding the powerful beaks of the larger birds. This dynamic ensures that nothing goes to waste. Within minutes, a carcass can be reduced to bone. And even these are not wasted. Beetles, ants, and other insects finish the job, returning every last nutrient to the soil. Vultures' keen eyesight allows them to spot a kill from miles away, and their circling flight acts as a beacon, drawing in other scavengers like hyenas, who rely on these signals to locate food across vast distances. From the tireless migrations of wildebeest to the silent patience of crocodiles, from the soaring vulture to the industrious termite, every creature plays a part. Even the smallest, like termites and dung beetles, engineer the soil, supporting the very grass that feeds the herds. Together, these animals form a complex, interdependent web, each thread essential to the survival of the whole, and each interaction shaping the destiny of the lions and all who share this remarkable land. Across the vast African savanna, the ancient rhythms of predator and prey are now disrupted by a force more pervasive than drought or famine, human expansion. The subtle, far-reaching consequences of our presence ripple through every corner of the ecosystem, often in ways unseen and unintentional. For thousands of years, these plains thrived under a delicate, if unforgiving, balance. Lions, as apex predators, shaped the behavior and numbers of countless species, their presence a keystone in the architecture of the wild. But today, the landscape is fractured. Once continuous territories are now split by roads, fields, and fences, isolating prides and disrupting ancient migration routes. The relentless conversion of wild habitat into agricultural land is the most insidious threat. Each acre lost is a silent blow to the intricate web of life, reducing the space available for lions to hunt, breed, and raise their young. As boundaries multiply, lions are forced into ever smaller pockets of wilderness. Their prey becomes scarce, and the risk of inbreeding rises, threatening the genetic health of future generations. The indirect effects are profound. With natural prey dwindling, lions may turn to livestock, setting off a chain reaction of conflict and retaliation that further endangers their survival. Beyond the visible scars of habitat loss, the shadow of illegal trade looms. The trafficking of animal parts destabilizes entire populations, creating a climate of fear and suspicion that undermines conservation efforts. The demand for ivory, rhino horn, and pelts drives a ruthless underground economy. For lions, the threat is not only direct, through targeted poaching, but also indirect, as the loss of elephants and other keystone species alters the very structure of their environment. The aftermath of poaching is a landscape littered with loss. The removal of a single elephant or rhino can trigger cascading effects, depriving lions of scavenging opportunities and disrupting nutrient cycles vital to the ecosystem. When poisoned carcasses are left behind, the consequences spiral outward. Scavengers like vultures, essential for disease control, perish in droves, leaving the land vulnerable to outbreaks that can decimate both wildlife and livestock. The slow decline of species such as the black rhino is a warning. With each loss, the ecosystem's resilience weakens, and the intricate relationships that sustain lions and their prey begin to unravel. Against these mounting challenges, conservationists deploy a sophisticated arsenal of strategies. Their work is as much about understanding the subtle interplay of species as it is about direct intervention. Field teams meticulously monitor lion populations using camera traps and tracking data to map territories, identify threats, and anticipate shifts in behavior caused by environmental pressures. Anti-poaching patrols operate with precision, their presence a deterrent to traffickers and a lifeline for vulnerable species. Every patrol is a race against time and ingenuity. Advanced technology, from GPS collars to satellite imagery, allows conservationists to track lion movements in real time, identify corridors critical for migration, and respond swiftly to emerging threats. In some reserves, the controversial practice of dehorning rhinos is a last resort, stripping away the incentive for poachers and buying precious time for recovery. These interventions are not without risk. Each action must be weighed against its potential to disrupt the fragile balance that lions and their prey depend upon. Conservation is also a matter of fostering coexistence. By supporting sustainable land use and alternative livelihoods, efforts are made to reduce the indirect pressures that drive lions into conflict with people. Eco-tourism initiatives channel resources back into the landscape, making the survival of lions and their prey a shared economic interest and encouraging the preservation of wild spaces. Education, too, is a powerful tool. By inspiring the next generation to value and protect their natural heritage, conservationists plant the seeds of long-term change. For species on the brink, like the wild dog, genetic management and carefully planned relocations are essential. These programs safeguard diversity and help restore balance to ecosystems where lions play a pivotal role. The fight for Africa's lions is waged not only in the bush, but in laboratories, policy forums, and digital networks, where data and innovation drive new solutions to old problems. The fate of the lion and the wild heart of Africa rests on our ability to understand and mitigate the far-reaching, often invisible impacts of our actions. The challenge is immense, but so too is the resilience of nature, if given the chance to recover. As the African sun dips below the horizon, the savanna is bathed in a final fleeting glow. Shadows stretch long and deep, cloaking the land in a veil of uncertainty. The day's relentless contest for survival slows, but never truly ends. Every creature, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, bears the marks of the day's trials, scratches, scars, and the silent exhaustion of having endured. A lioness, her muscles taut with vigilance, shepherds her cubs through the tall grass. Each step is measured, every sense alert, for danger never sleeps in this land. High above, a leopard sprawls across a sturdy branch, belly full but mind restless. Even in apparent safety, its ears twitch at the slightest sound, for the night brings new threats. At a waterhole, a herd of elephants gathers, their trunks swirling in the cool water. The matriarch stands guard, her wisdom forged by years of drought and danger, her presence a shield for the vulnerable calves. For a brief moment, predator and prey share the same fading light, united by fatigue and the unspoken truce of nightfall. Yet beneath the calm, every heartbeat is a reminder of the day to come. The animals that have survived today's gauntlet, heat, thirst, hunger, and the ever-present threat of violence, find a fragile peace. Their eyes, rimmed with weariness, scan the darkness for what tomorrow may bring. In this world, survival is not a guarantee, but a hard-won achievement. Each dusk is a silent celebration, a testament to resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. There are no medals, no applause, only the quiet satisfaction of having outlasted the day. The pride lies together, their bodies pressed close, drawing strength from unity and the lessons of survival. The wild is often seen as a stage for winners and losers, but this is a human illusion. Here every life is a gamble, every victory fleeting. The lion's successful hunt is a moment of triumph, but it is shadowed by the zebra's loss, a reminder that fortune is fickle and survival is never certain. The gazelle that slips from the cheetah's grasp lives to see another sunrise, but the predator's hunger grows sharper, its desperation more acute. These moments are not victories or defeats, but chapters in an endless story written by necessity and chance. In the wild, roles shift with the seasons and the cycles of life. The hunter may become the hunted, the strong may falter, and the weak may find unexpected strength. A wounded lion, once a fearsome predator, now limps through the grass, wary of scavengers and rivals. Vulnerability is the price of existence here. A herd of antelope, calm one moment, erupts into a stampede the next, panic and instinct guiding their flight from unseen danger. Life and death are not opposites here, but partners in a ceaseless exchange. The fallen nourish the living, and the cycle continues, indifferent to individual fate. The zebra's flesh sustains the lion, its energy transformed and passed on, a vital link in the chain of existence. In time, even the lion's reign ends. Its body returns to the earth, feeding scavengers and eventually the soil itself. From that soil, new grass will grow, nourishing the next generation of grazers, life rising from death in an endless, silent promise. The African wilderness is a vast, intricate web where every life is both fragile and essential. Its lessons are written in dust, blood, and the quiet persistence of survival. From the towering elephant to the tireless dung beetle, each creature plays a role, however small, in sustaining the balance of this world. The hyena's powerful jaws break bones that others cannot, ensuring that nothing is wasted, that every resource is returned to the cycle. Vultures, circling high above, are nature's final caretakers, clearing away what remains, preventing disease, and closing the loop of life and death. Hippos, by grazing and spreading nutrients, shape the very landscape, their nightly routines quietly sustaining both land and water. Every animal, every plant, every unseen microbe is a thread in this living tapestry. Remove one, and the pattern unravels, the balance tips. The loss of a single species weakens the whole, echoing through the ecosystem in ways both subtle and profound. Predator and prey, scavenger and grazer, each is bound to the other, their fates entwined in a dance as old as the land itself. As we witness the silent prowl of Shadow the lion, the cautious steps of Zola the leopard, and the daily struggles of countless others, we glimpse the true nature of this place, a world shaped by hardship, adaptation, and the will to survive. There are no heroes here, no villains, only creatures doing what they must, shaped by forces beyond their control. Sometimes there is peace, a moment of rest, a shared waterhole, a lull in the struggle, but always the cycle resumes. Success and failure are measured not in trophies but in the simple act of seeing another dawn. The wild is unforgiving, its challenges relentless. Yet within this crucible, life persists, adaptable, tenacious, and endlessly inventive. Every day is a test of endurance, a contest of wit and strength, a race against hunger and fear. In the vast, ever-changing theatre of the African wild, the only constant is the struggle to survive. There are no victors, no vanquished, only those who endure, shaped by the land and the unyielding demands of life. In this ancient, unending cycle, survival itself is the only triumph. Each creature, in its own way, is both a testament to the harshness of nature and to the extraordinary resilience that life demands. Chapter 2. As the last hues of twilight fade, the savanna transforms. The heat of the day gives way to a cool, whispering breeze, and the land is cloaked in darkness. For many, the night is a time of rest, but for others, it is the true beginning of their daily struggle. Shadows deepen, and the landscape becomes a world defined by sound, scent, and movement more than sight. A chorus of crickets rises, joined by the haunting calls of distant hyenas. Above, the stars ignite, scattered across the vast African sky, their cold light offering little comfort to those below. In these hours, the savanna belongs to the creatures of the night. A pride of lions, silent and alert, melts into the inky grass. The cover of darkness turns them from bold rulers to invisible hunters. Their eyes, keen and unblinking, scan for movement. Every step is deliberate, every breath measured. The lionesses fan out, communicating with subtle gestures, closing in on a herd of wildebeest that grazes nervously in the gloom. With each passing moment, tension coils in the air, ready to snap. Nearby, a pair of leopards begin their solitary patrols. Masters of stealth, they slip through the undergrowth, their spotted coats perfectly blending with the dappled moonlight. For them, the night is a window of opportunity, when the world is quieter and their prey is less vigilant. An impala, startled by a faint rustle, freezes as the leopard assesses its next move, but the savanna is not ruled by predators alone. Herds of zebra and antelope gather close, their bodies pressed together for warmth and protection. Ears flick and nostrils flare, searching for the slightest hint of danger. The night amplifies every sound, a snapping twig, a distant roar, each one a potential warning. The smallest mistake can mean disaster. Beneath the surface, aardvarks and porcupines emerge from their burrows, foraging under the cover of darkness. Their world is one of quiet efficiency, each step calculated to avoid the attention of larger, hungrier neighbors. In the open, a bush baby leaps between branches, its enormous eyes capturing the faintest glimmer of light. High above, owls glide silently, their wings perfectly adapted for noiseless flight. With uncanny precision, they swoop down on unsuspecting rodents, their talons closing in a silent, deadly grasp. For these winged hunters, the night is an endless field of opportunity. Meanwhile, the hyenas begin their rounds. Their eerie laughter carries across the plains, a signal to rivals and a warning to the weak. They move with purpose, noses to the ground, following the scent of a fresh kill or searching for leftovers. In the darkness, their keen senses give them an edge over both predator and prey. The dangers of night are not limited to those with claws and teeth. The temperature drops, and a heavy dew settles on the grass, making every step slick and uncertain. For some, the cold is an enemy as formidable as any lion. Insects swarm, taking advantage of the still air, while snakes and scorpions emerge from their hiding places, hunting with silent patience. For every animal, the night is a gamble. A single misstep, a moment's lapse in attention, can mean the difference between life and death. Yet, in the midst of this constant tension, the savanna thrives. The darkness is not just a veil of fear, but a canvas for adaptation, where senses sharpen, instincts guide, and survival depends on the ability to read the unseen world. As dawn approaches, the first calls of birds signal the end of the long vigil. The night survivors melt back into the shadows, seeking shelter from the coming sun. The savanna, painted with the promise of a new day, remembers the silent battles fought in darkness. Here, under the stars, the cycle of survival continues, unseen, but no less vital. Nightfall on the savanna is not merely an absence of light. It is a realm of heightened senses, hidden dangers, and endless possibility. A time when the wild reveals a different, mysterious face, and every heartbeat echoes with the unspoken promise of another chance to endure. Gap 2s. As the first rays of sunlight pierce the horizon, the heart of the savanna awakens, not in the thickets or the tall grass, but at the waterhole. Here, life converges in a daily ritual of necessity and risk. In a landscape where water is scarce, Each drop becomes a currency of survival, drawing creatures large and small from miles around. The waterhole is both sanctuary and arena. Elephants arrive first, their massive forms casting long shadows across the water's edge. With gentle trunks, they drink deeply, their presence commanding respect. Smaller animals, impalas, zebras and warthogs, wait at a cautious distance, watching for any sign of danger. Each one knows the rules. Patience, vigilance and timing are everything. Predators, too, understand the value of the waterhole. Lions and leopards linger in the undergrowth, their eyes fixed on the gathering herds. But here, the rules shift. The abundance of prey is offset by the alertness of the crowd. Eyes and ears are everywhere, and a single alarm call can scatter the assembly in an instant. Predators must rely on stealth, patience, and sometimes sheer luck. Conflict at the water's edge is inevitable. Hippos, territorial and unpredictable, stake their claim in the deeper pools. Crocodiles lie in wait beneath the surface, their presence betrayed only by a ripple or a pair of unblinking eyes. One careless step, and a life can be lost in a flash of teeth and water. Yet cooperation emerges alongside competition. Birds perch on the backs of buffalo, picking off ticks and warning of approaching threats. Baboons form sentry lines, alerting their troop to danger while the youngest members play at the margins. Even the smallest creatures, terrapins, frogs, insects, find their place in this delicate balance, each one dependent on the waterhole's continued existence. Survival here is a matter of strategy. Some animals visit at dawn or dusk when predators are less active. Others travel in groups, relying on numbers for protection. The bravest take their chances at midday when the heat keeps hunters at bay. Every decision is calculated, every movement purposeful. As the sun climbs higher, the crowd thins. The waterhole, once a bustling center of life, grows quiet again until the next wave of thirsty travelers arrives. In this endless cycle, the waterhole remains the Savanna's lifeline and its fiercest battleground. Here, the struggle for survival is at its most visible, a daily testament to the resilience and ingenuity of Africa's wildlife. The Savanna is a land defined by contrasts, and none are more profound than those brought by the changing seasons. As the months pass, the rhythm of life shifts in tandem with the rains and the relentless sun. The wet season transforms the landscape, painting the plains with lush grasses and filling dried-out rivers with rushing water. Herds of wildebeest, zebras and gazelles begin their epic migrations, driven by the promise of fresh grazing and abundant water. The ground trembles beneath their hooves, a moving tapestry stretching as far as the eye can see. For the predators, these migrations are both opportunity and challenge. Lions, usually territorial, must adapt their strategies. Some pride members follow the herds, venturing beyond familiar boundaries to track the moving feast. Others remain, relying on patience and the few prey that stay behind. Adaptability is key. During the rains, lions may hunt more by day, taking advantage of thick grasses for stealth and the confusion of the herds. But as the dry season returns, the transformation is stark. Grasses wither and waterholes shrink, forcing animals to travel greater distances in search of sustenance. The once vast herds fragment. Only the strongest endure the journey, while the weakest fall behind. Elephants dig into dry riverbeds with their trunks, unearthing hidden water for their families and for others who follow in their tracks. Giraffes stretch higher into the trees, reaching for leaves beyond the grasp of other grazers, while antelope grow lean and alert, their every move a calculation for survival. Predators, too, must adapt. With prey scarce and the grasslands open, lions and cheetahs become more reliant on cover and the element of surprise. Hyenas and wild dogs increase their range, sometimes forming uneasy truces as competition intensifies. Even the smallest residents, meerkats, rodents, insects, adjust their routines, timing their foraging and burrowing to the shifting patterns of heat and rain. The seasonal cycle brings hardship but also renewal. With the arrival of the rains, Life returns in abundance. Newborns take their first steps on soft green carpets. Birds weave nests in the acacia trees, and the air thrums with the calls of frogs and insects. The savanna's resilience is revealed in these moments, a living system that bends but never breaks, shaped by the eternal pulse of the seasons. Here, adaptation is not just a strategy, but a way of life. Every creature, from the mightiest lion to the tiniest beetle, is bound to the ever-turning wheel of change. On the savanna, survival belongs to those who can read the signs, seize the moment, and endure the long march from drought to abundance and back again. Beneath the endless sky, the savanna's most profound truth unfolds, a web of life where every creature, great and small, plays a part in a delicate balance. This is the circle of life. Here, energy flows from the sun to the grass to the grazers, and from the grazers to the predators. Herds of wildebeest, zebras, and antelope transform sunlight into muscle and motion, their constant grazing shaping the very landscape. Each mouthful of grass is more than a meal. It is a transfer of life, fueling migrations and the birth of new generations. Predators, lions, leopards, cheetahs, are the stewards of this balance. Their hunts may seem merciless, but they are nature's way of ensuring that only the strongest survive, bolstering the health of the herds. No kill is wasted. Scavengers like hyenas and vultures arrive soon after, stripping the remains and returning vital nutrients to the earth. Even the smallest creatures have their role. Dung beetles recycle waste, aerating the soil and nourishing new plant growth. Termites break down dead wood, their mounds becoming oases for insects and birds. Insects pollinate flowers, ensuring the next generation of grasses and trees. When an animal falls, its body becomes a feast for many. Jackals, insects, and microbes, each link in a chain that circles back to the soil. In time, the nutrients released will feed new shoots of grass and the cycle will begin again. This interconnectedness is not just survival, it is harmony. Every action sends ripples across the landscape. When the grass flourishes, the grazers thrive. When the grazers abound, the predators prosper. When the predators hunt, the balance is maintained. On the savanna, no creature exists in isolation. Life and death are entwined, each giving meaning to the other. This is the circle of life, a dance as old as the plains themselves, where every heartbeat is part of a greater whole, and every ending is also a beginning. Across the vast savanna, hidden beneath the daily rhythm of survival, are tales that defy expectation, legends passed on in silence, written in footprints and whispered by the wind. These are the remarkable, lesser-known stories that reveal the savanna's true wonder. In the golden light of dawn, a coalition of cheetah brothers stalks the grasslands. Unlike solitary males, these siblings have forged an alliance, combining speed and strategy to bring down prey far larger than themselves. Their bond is rare, but together they challenge the dominance of even the most powerful predators, rewriting the rules of the hunt. Elsewhere, a matriarchal hyena clan demonstrates the strength of sisterhood. Beneath their infamous cackles lies a complex society where females rule and rank is inherited through generations. The highest-born cubs are groomed for leadership from birth, their fates decided not by strength alone, but by the wisdom of their mothers and a network of alliances that stretch across the plains. In the shade of an ancient baobab, a lone honey badger embarks on a nightly quest. Fearless and cunning, it raids beehives, braving venomous stings for a taste of honeycomb. But the badger is not alone. Following in its wake, a pair of honey guides flutter impatiently. These small birds lead the badger to hidden hives, then feast on the leftovers, an alliance built on trust and mutual benefit, generations in the making. At the muddy banks of a shrinking waterhole, a standoff unfolds between a crocodile and a herd of thirsty buffalo. The buffalo, sensing the danger, send their youngest to the back, while the elders approach first, horns lowered. Sometimes, in a rare display of unity, the herd will mob the predator, saving a calf from certain death. These moments of courage become lessons, remembered by the herd for years to come. Even the smallest creatures have their legends. A column of matabele ants undertakes nightly raids on termite mounds. Those injured in battle are carried home by their sisters, tended to until they recover, a testament to sacrifice and care in a world where most walk alone. Above it all, the great crowned crane performs its secret dance. With outstretched wings and a chorus of calls, it leaps and bows, weaving bonds with its mate that last a lifetime. Their rituals, unseen by most, are passed down through generations, a silent promise that beauty and devotion endure even in the harshest of lands. These legends, old and new, are etched into the fabric of the Savanna. They are reminders that survival is not just about strength, but about intelligence, cooperation, and the quiet miracles that unfold every day. Here, in the heart of the wild, the extraordinary is everywhere, waiting to be discovered by those who listen to the land's ancient song.